Greetings, Legunus, Arndelt here. So, yeah, it has been quite some time since last I recorded any videos, and there's, well, a bit of a plethora of explanations for that, but essentially the first and foremost is simply the fact that, yeah, life has really sucked lately for a lot of reasons. And I've genuinely, every single time I've gone to try and record a video, I just lacked any and all motivation to do it. I just felt like empty inside. It's about as close as I get to describing it. And that feeling sucks worse than vampires. Had no motivation to do anything at all. And I lack the explanation to explain why. I just don't have it. All I know is that it's been immensely difficult to get the motivation to do anything remotely productive. Terra, I haven't even played tabletop Warhammer in ages. Anyway, it's been an irritatingly long struggle to get back to it. And this is me attempting to essentially do that. And get back to life as I know it, where I'm doing something besides going to work and coming back home and sitting around the house, twiddling my thumbs. Basically, it's like Groundhog's Day. I've been stuck in Groundhog's Day for a while now. And it's just, yeah, it sucks. Groundhog's Day sucks. And I'm trying to break out of Groundhog's Day now. You know, figure out the riddle, why am I trapped here? What do I need to do to get out of it? You know, that whole deal. I recently got my 3D printer up and running again, and I've been trying to 3D print things. I have a theory that the reason why I felt the way I feel is because maybe my 3D printer was down, but that doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's not that important in my life. I mean, it enables me to create things. Like, there is no underestimating that. I live off of creation. I love to make things, whether it be stories or actual tangible things with my hands. And the 3D printer, tuning it, keeping it fine-tuned, getting a glass bed that isn't shattering, breaking, or cracking on me is just a friggin' nightmare. It's just so obscene. Yeah, it's been a daily struggle though, this whole crap. And legitimately, there was a point where there was no video games that sounded remotely interesting. There was no playing tabletop, anything. I would come home and sit at my desk and struggle for something to do. I mean, what causes that? I don't even freaking know. I got no idea. But anyway, so pushing that aside, one of the things that has gotten me very motivated today, especially, is I've been watching a lot of Shadiversity, which has been helping me with concepts in my mind of playing. I write. Last Dawn takes place in a sort of fantasy environment. It's kind of fantasy, not really. It's difficult to describe, but Last Dawn is a book I've actually written. I just need to actually edit it now. It's like 500 pages long, and that's in the fonts and size of script that I'm using. So I don't know if that could be edited, like if I were to use a format that they want in writing, if that would reduce it or not. Got no clue. But I do know that for an initial novel, most publishing places are not even going to consider something that's 500 pages long. Like, they'll just toss that out. So self-publishing is really going to be the only way to go. Anyway, though, and not that I ever actually expect to get published or popular or anything like that. I don't. This is just me doing what I love. And Shadiversity has been helping, because Shadiversity is all about, like, researching medieval weaponry and crap like that, getting in depth interested in that kind of stuff, and it's just like super freaking awesome. So Yeah. Anyway, however, Shadiversity, he did a video about dwarves. And the really, really irritating part when he did this video about dwarves was that, oh, it was just, how do I put this? He said that dwarves only have like the equivalent strength of that of a full grown man. Now, let's entertain that notion for one moment. It just, you know what? No. I'm not going to get into that here. I'm not. This is, I have a bunch of notes and whatnot. I'm going to make a dedicated video to that. It's just, I'm going to make a reply video to Shad, from Shadiversity, about that. About, his, belief that dwarves only have strength equivalent to that of a man. And he, I agree with most of Shadiversity's stuff, and I genuinely love it. The he's very knowledgeable. He knows just about everything he's talking about, and it really, I love it. But that one error, that one single error, that dwarves are only about as strong as a man, it's like, no, that does not even begin to cover it. Dwarves, in every lore I have ever gotten into, they're immensely stronger than any mere man. I mean, even I think I brought that up to Elisa, my wife, and even she kind of, I think she gave me this look like, wait, aren't dwarves stronger than men? Or, I don't know. Yeah, she did. She's currently giving this giant grin. Even she knew that, wait a second, dwarves are only as strong as men? What? It's like, no. I mean, especially, in the Warhammer universe, dwarves are extremely stronger than men, and that's apparently obvious, especially when you face off with the slayers. Anyway, slayers are just, I'm not gonna get into it, but I love slayers. They're friggin' awesome. Anyway, yeah, I friggin' dwarves are one of those things that I absolutely love in fantasy universes. Not they're so yeah they're not in mine. My fantasy universe. I didn't even mean to say that. Why did I say that? Anyway, come on, frickin'. Anyway. Smashing through the thingy-ma-popper. Okay, you know what? I'm actually gonna turn down the volume here, because it's no, apply them. Okay, so now I can concentrate a little bit better. Okay. Alright, so, and there's a reason why dwarves, even though they're one of my favorite things, they're not in my fantasy universe. It won't mean I won't have, I guess, a sort of equivalence, for lack of a better term. But, yeah, there's a reason, and I'll get to that another time. Anyway. Jerk. Anyway. Long story short, he made that based off of dwarves only having the strength of men, and I took serious exception to that. And then he based pretty much the rest of his video off of that. Now, under the idea that that is accurate, I support that concept. If dwarves only had the strength of men, all the information he gave would be completely accurate. All of it. I wouldn't have disagreed with it. So this is just one detail I felt that Shad had wrong, and because of this one detail, it tainted the rest of his video. Like the rest of it was just like so wrong. It made me cringe. I was just like, why Shad? Why? Sigh. Anyway, but yeah, we'll get to that. And by the way, if you have not actually watched Shadiversity's videos and you are remotely interested in like medieval weaponry and what different types of creatures would be used, he like especially in like the fantasy universe. Oh, Terra, he's just like he's so in depth. It's awesome. I mean, like to name one video he does a video about centaurs, about how like what kind of medieval weaponry a centaur would use, like an angel would use. And when he did the dwarf one, that's when I was like, okay, I take exception to this due to the one tiny little detail. And I'm gonna make a dedicated reply video to that. Because another really cool thing about Chad is he apparently tends to reply videos, or if he's wrong about something he wants to know, that kind of thing. So yeah, etc. Anyway, so this is just a bunch of like that idea right there is what really got me back into wanting to make videos again, which is exactly what I'm going to be attempting to do. I'm going to try to make a reply video of Shad and get back to all my other work and whatnot, and etc, etc, etc. Oh dang. Whatever, I can use a speed potion. Anyway, and then as you can tell, I'm playing Vermintide, and I'm playing the prologue. I haven't played it in a little while, so yeah, decided to come back and play this. And it's one of the few games I can play where my recording software, well, my computer can handle me recording the game, because it can't always do that. It's just insanely difficult for my computer to play a lot of more modern games that are coming out of late. It just, yeah, I won't get into it. Even though, whatever, it's just, I'm still like heavily distracted. It's difficult for me to focus my mind. Okay. Anyway, let's climb out of this giant hole. Oh, this guy's got issues. Anyway. Oh, whoop! Ah, get off! Okay. Barrel is down. Something I just want to say. The Warhammer, like, this is actually a maul, what Kruger has here in his hands, because it's made of wood. But I am in love with the... Not in love. I have a romanticism about the concept of a Warhammer. Like, and I'm not talking about, like, the pick-sized Warhammers that Shadiversity will show on his channel that is medieval period accurate, and that a regular human could actually swing effectively. And in Chad's opinion, that type of Warhammer would be far more effective than the maul that Kruger is holding right here. And while I agree with him to a point, I think there's ways that you could make a maul like this one effective in combats. Like, if I was in a medieval, situation, versus zombies or whatever, I know a hammer isn't exactly going to be terribly effective versus zombies, but it's legitimately, it's the weapon I want to use. Like, if I'm going to get into a fight, I want a giant two-handed hammer. But obviously I can't even, it would be incredibly difficult to pick up a hammer of this size that was made of metal. That's just not really, when Kruger doesn't have this maul here on in. He has a metal one. He, unless he is incredibly stronger than he looks, could not effectively wield that weapon. The dwarf, whose name I randomly forget, Barden Gorikson. Barden Gorikson, He has also a hammer that he can wield. However, dwarves are incredibly stronger than men. I could realistically see a dwarf wielding an actual war hammer the size of a maul and see them wield it effectively. I don't know if like a war hammer being wielded as a maul. I mean, like if you make a war hammer the size of a freaking maul, if it actually would still be a war hammer, or if at that point, even though it's made of metal, it would still be considered a maul. I don't know for sure the accuracies on that point. All I know is that I love Warhammer, the actual universe, and I love the concept of having a Warhammer, which is kind of ironic. Anyway, so these are just a lot of my thoughts and whatnot, things I've been getting into and everything. Issues I've been going through, whatnot. Sorry I've been gone so long. The last video I had was like the Halo video, where, you know, Halo's going to be coming back to PC, and that got me super excited. And I'm very much, I am so looking forward to that. But, yeah, anyway, there's that explanation. In any case, so, yeah, I look forward to seeing you in my next video, which, if all things go according to plan, will be my reply to Shadiversity about yeah, dwarves, because I've been watching his channel for a while now, seen a lot of his videos. I've yet to see him correct himself on the dwarven issue, or maybe he thinks that he's still right. And he's seen all the replies where people are like, dwarves are insanely stronger than men. Like, there's no comparison point here, and maybe he, you know, he doesn't think he's wrong in that area. All I know is that all the universes I've ever gotten into, yeah, dwarves ridiculously stronger than men. So, in any case, all right. Well, thanks everyone very much for watching. If you like this video, you know, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you know, please let me know why. And thanks for sticking around this long. And, you know, don't get into too much trouble, or do. It's always up to you. Toodles.